Hey, what's going on, guys? It's your boy Ronnie. Come back with another video. Today we're gonna be taking a look at my week 4 predictions and seeing how my week 3 went. Week 3, I went 14-2. I got Green Bay versus the Browns wrong, which I was pretty surprised about. Last second field if both games. Field goals cost me on both my losses in the Denver game and the Chargers game, but this game was also super close. With the last second field goal and earlier the field goal that got blocked, and earlier there was a field goal that blocked that would have actually iced the game, which wouldn't have allowed Cleveland to move up the field. So yeah, and then Denver versus Los Angeles. I mean that game could have gone either way really. But I mean, this also showing like, is the Chargers really that good of a team? Being that Denver hasn't looked the best than what we've seen. But yeah, let's take a look at my week 4 predictions and seeing who I have. First game, Seattle versus Arizona. I have Seattle winning. I just feel like Arizona has not been looking as good. I think that this is going to be a close game, and Seattle has been looking really dominant through this season. Next up, we got Minnesota versus Pittsburgh. Overseas. I got Minnesota winning. Yes, Pittsburgh's looked good the past 2 weeks, but they haven't faced a lot of competition in Minnesota last week with Carson Wentz playing an amazing game against the Bengals. I just feel that they'll be able to take over the game against Pittsburgh. Next, we got Washington versus Atlanta. I got Washington winning. Yes, Atlanta won last week. Did Atlanta win last week, or did they win? No, they won the week before in a surprising winning in Minnesota. I just don't see Atlanta shocking this Washington team, who's been looking really good. But we got New Orleans versus Buffalo. I think Buffalo's going to destroy New Orleans. New Orleans has just not got that good enough team. They have good players in Kamara, Cam Jordan, Chase Young, and Chris Olave. But other than that, they're not really that force. Next up, we got Cleveland versus Detroit. I got Detroit winning. Cleveland has, they beat Green Bay on a lucky play. I feel like right now this Detroit team will take advantage of this Cleveland team and just go off. They have that amazing receiving core, and especially with running backs. And then they'll just be able to get the ball out fast and take advantage of. They're not as great secondary because yes, they do have a great pass rush, but their secondary is not as good as their pass rush, which is not saying that much. The pass rush has a lot of good players. Next up, we got Houston versus Tennessee. Both teams. I don't think both teams. I don't think have won a game this season. I think Houston's going to take the win here. Houston has looked real. Houston has the ability to play really good when it really comes down to it. So yeah, and then next up we got Carolina versus New England. I have Carolina winning. New England's a great team, but this Carolina team has played some really good football. When it comes down to it, this Carolina team can play amazing football and destroy almost any team. Especially they're one of the best fourth quarter teams in the NFL right now. Definitely they come back from behind really late and all that. Next up, we got Chargers versus Giants. I got Chargers winning. I mean, Giants are, even with George having his first game now, I feel like this Chargers team is a better team than this Giants team. Next up, we got Philadelphia versus Tampa Bay. I think that this game it can be actually decently close because Tampa has had these really good games recently. So I think that they'll probably make it a really close game against Philadelphia. Next up, we got Indianapolis versus Rams. Yes, Indy has looked really good, but I think the Rams can pull it out if they just play solid football. If they played like they played the first half, the entire game against the Eagles last week, they'll probably destroy Indianapolis. Next up, we got Jacksonville versus San Francisco. I mean, it's pretty obvious that San Francisco is probably going to win this game because they have been playing really good. And I don't know what's going on with Jacksonville. They're not using their superstars in the proper manner, which is causing them to not win these games. But again, this game can also go either way, especially with I think Kittle still out and Purdy. But yeah. And next up, we got Baltimore versus Kansas City. I think after that win against the Giants, I think Kansas City could get into a groove right now and beat Baltimore, and make it a very difficult chance for Baltimore to get into the playoffs. And especially with the turnovers that Baltimore has been having really lately, and their struggles with controlling the ball, I feel that they're not going to be playing to the standards that they should be. Next up, we got Chicago versus Las Vegas. I got Chicago winning. Chicago had an amazing game last week. And if they can keep that momentum going into this week, I think it'll be a pretty easy win for this team against a Raiders team who, is using Geno Smith, who, he's up there in age. He's not a young quarterback. He has that veteran presence, but they don't have a good O line. I feel like in Las Vegas, and I just feel like they'll be better. Next up, we got Green Bay versus Dallas. I think without CeeDee Lamb, it's pretty obviously going to Green Bay. You know, yes, they still have Pickens, and the other guy that's really good kick returning. I can't remember his name right now. But I still believe that he's not gonna have that much time. He won't have that many options to get the ball out fast enough. Where if it was, if CD was playing, because they could definitely change the whole momentum of the game. And if they would have won last week against Chicago, it would have made things different. I would have 100% put Dallas in it. But even without CD, it's almost obviously going to Green Bay because they have such a great secondary. Next up, we got Jets versus Miami. Miami put a great game against Buffalo, made it super close. Definitely showed a lot of improvement. Jets now going in with another again. It's Tyrod Taylor, a solid backup. I don't know if they'll win this game. I have Miami winning. And finally, I got Denver beating Cincinnati. Denver is an overall better team. The way Cincinnati had lost to Minnesota last week was abysmal. And with the fact that they don't have Burrow, and if Detroit, Denver wants to compete for the playoff spot, they need to beat this Cincinnati team that is not playing up to their proper ability. So yeah, guys, that's my predictions. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe. Peace.